Are you ready? Ho l'onore.
It is my honour to announce that the Conference of Presidents of the political groups has just decided to award the Sakharov Prize 2017 for the freedom of thought to the democratic opposition in Venezuela.
All'Assemblea Nazionale.
At the National Assembly, represented by Julio Borges, its president, and to all political prisoners, as listed by the Venezuelan Criminal Forum, represented by Leopoldo Lopez, Antonio Ledesma, Daniel Ceballos, Jon Boycochea, Lawrence Saleh, Alfredo Ramos, and André González. And it is my honour to announce the result on a day where, thanks also to the pressure from the European Parliament, 3 human rights activists have been freed in Turkey. From its institution in 1988, this prize has been awarded to those who have made an exceptional contribution to the fight for human rights. It does not have a political colour, but it represents the most symbolic events
Vi prego di rispettare.
Can I ask you to respect the majority will in the Parliament? This is no laughing matter when we're talking about millions of people and children who are dying of hunger. You might not agree with the majority, but you have to respect the will of the majority of this Parliament in a democracy. It is no laughing matter when we're talking about the defence of human rights. The Sakharov Prize is one of the most symbolic moments of the function of our Parliament. We are at the forefront of those defending freedom, democracy and other human rights, both within and outside our borders. Today it is our duty to denounce once again, after 5 resolutions adopted by the European Parliament in the last few years, the serious situation in Venezuela, in that country in Latin America where many European citizens reside and many Venezuelans have European background. Many people are being deprived of their fundamental freedoms, leading to a spiralling economic, institutional, social crisis. The living standards for Venezuelan people have drastically got worse. We're facing a true humanitarian crisis. There's a lack of medicine, food, drinking water and electricity. Hundreds of thousands of people are being forced to flee their country. We cannot remain silent. We must defend democracy, freedom and human rights. And for that reason, we have decided to award the Sakharov Prize for freedom of thought to the democratic opposition, recalling our full support to the National Assembly of Venezuela, a democratically elected parliament, the only democratically elected parliament. But we would also like to launch a plea for a peaceful transition towards democracy and to create a humanitarian corridor which could alleviate people's suffering. Today we're not just awarding the prize to the democratic opposition, but we also wish to demonstrate our will to be close to the Venezuelan people and to pay tribute to them, to those who've been unfairly imprisoned simply for having expressed their opinion and whose daily struggle in a totalitarian regime is something we bear witness to, who have lost loved ones and who've been peacefully demonstrating for freedom. Today we are supporting a people's desire for freedom, but all the battles for rights are equally important. Anyone who's being oppressed or facing injustice, deprived of their freedoms, anywhere in the world will always be able to count on this Parliament. And for this reason, the Conference of Presidents has decided to invite to the award ceremony, which will be held on the 13th of December in Strasbourg, the other two candidates as well, Aura Lolita Chavez-Scassi and David Isaac, who will unfortunately be represented by one of his family members, given that he is still being detained in Eritrea. We now come to the votes. The next item is the election of a Vice President of the European Parliament to replace Mrs. Ulrike Lunacek. I would like to remind you that pursuant to Rule 20 of the Rules of Procedure, the newly elected Vice President shall take the place of his or her predecessor in the order of precedence. I have received the nomination of Mrs. Heidi Hautala. The candidate has confirmed to me